Hey everybody, David at the Freedom Shack. I want to talk a little bit more about scope leveling. So I am standing firm with the best way to level a scope is with a set of wedges, which we'll get into in a minute. But I want to show you something. What I have here are 3 of the cheapest scopes that I own. They're not mounted on rifles anymore. 2 of these are LPVOs. This is a 6-24 made by Partisan. I think this was maybe $250-ish. These were around $100. So the comments that I'm getting, I've heard this from a lot of people, you cannot level a scope off the top of the turret because it's not square to reticle. I know for a fact that you can square off the base using wedges. It's never not worked perfectly. So I want to show you something. I'm going to measure from the base of this, which we know is flat, to the top side of each of this cap to show how square that cap is to the bottom. You got to remember, even these are made in China. They're made in CNC machines, and they're going to be square. So this is 2.088 inches on the right side. Now we're going to go to the left side. 2.089. So 1/1000th of a difference. Now let's go to the even cheaper ones. Measuring off the left side of this, 214.9. Now we're going to go off the other side. 215. Again, about 2,000. Now I have one. This is on a riser. This was on an AR. It's an LPVO. A little bit harder to measure on this, but 216.3. Let's go to the other side. 115. So that's what, 8 thou. 8 thou is a very small difference from side to side. I want to show you how these wedges work now. This riser is going to mount on top of the rifle. Whether you have the pick rail on the rifle or a pick rail on this riser, it's easier to show you with this off the rifle. You're going to place the bottom part of this wedge here. The top one works inside of that. So let me show you how this works. This has an angle on it. The 90-degree side goes up. This has an angle in it. When you put this in here, I've measured this with the caliper. This is perfectly square to the bottom. As you slide this, it fills the gap in between your base and the scope. So I intentionally have this cocked in here right now. The scope is somewhat loose. You're going to put this base here. You're going to take this wedge and slide it through until it touches the scope. And then you're going to wiggle the scope until it sits perfectly flat. I'm hoping you can see this. That makes the scope perfectly flat to this. You mount this on the rifle, you're finished. If you want to double check it, the best way to do that is to mount the rifle in something, even if it's a bipod front and something heavy in the back to hold the rifle steady. Make sure you get the rifle level first, and then you're going to put a plumb bob out there and check it. The problem with people trying to level this up on a rifle is many people put this on a rifle and then sit behind the rifle. They think they have the body, the chassis square, and it is not. Then they level the scope to a plumb bob or a line on the wall. And because the chassis is not straight, the scope is not actually level. So this is the best way. Scope to the top of the rifle, and you're done. If it's off then, it's because you have the rifle canted. So there you go. I hope this helps out, further educate some people. Have a great day. Okay, everybody, I'm out here on the bench now with the rifle. I want to go over something first. So there's guys saying that they do this with a plumb bob or a laser level on the wall. So then they get behind the rifle, hold the rifle, tilt the scope until it matches the line on the wall or the plumb bob. Here's the problem with sitting behind the rifle and doing this. You cannot judge how much this rifle chassis is tipped left and right in your shoulder. So if you're going to do that, I would suggest you get a level. You can use a flat edge to bring it out here, put a digital level or your bubble level or something on the chassis itself, and then setting it up like this so that the chassis itself is square And then, however you're going to do it, that digital level works great. The wedges work best. But if you're going to just set this up and then twist the scope to match the line that you have on the wall or a plumb bob, you have got to make sure the chassis is straight first. If the chassis is cocked and then you level the scope to something, when you get behind the rifle, it's going to throw it off. So I'm showing you right now, this is set perfectly at 0. I did this with the wedges down here to get it square to the bottom of the scope to the top of the mount. All right, I'm out here with my gray birch. I just used this for the video for the scope leveling. I have not zeroed this rifle. It was zeroed previously. It's probably pretty close. I'm going to see how far I can get on the KYL rack. Interesting bit of information. If you're going to do videos and use a scope camera, and you need reading glasses, make sure you put those reading glasses on before you focus, or all your videos are going to look like crap like the ones I've been posting, because they are out of focus because of my eyes. So I am hoping this one, since I focused it with my glasses, looks good. I think I shot that one. Out of ammo. Shoots pretty good. Level your scope with wedges. That's my tip again for the day.